In this video, I'm going to explain the way your computer is organized into files and folders, and then walk you through storing one of our assigned readings into a designated folder for our class. The first thing to understand is your computer's file structure. Basically, every computer for the last 60 years or so has been designed around the concept of folders containing other folders containing files. You can see that structure here in the folder where I keep the materials for all of my classes. The EnviroPhil folder is for environmental philosophy. Inside that are folders for the 2 previous times I taught it. And inside those folders are separate folders for downloaded copies of the assignment submissions, copies of the readings, the slides, and so on. Organizing my work into folders like this makes it much easier to find particular files later on. Like I can easily find slides for a particular week for a class I taught 3 years ago. I even have some very old material from the early 2000s when I was in grad school and TAing for the first time. When you set up a folder for your schoolwork, there are a couple of different places you might want to put it. I use things like Google Sheets, Slides, and Forms a lot, so I keep my teaching materials in a synced Google Drive folder. If you use Dropbox or iCloud to sync things between your laptop and a tablet, then that might be a good place to create your school folder. Both Windows and Mac OS have a Documents folder assigned to each user, and that can be a good place if you don't want to work across multiple devices. Wherever you create your school folder, you can create a bookmark or shortcut in your file browser to make it easy to navigate to that folder. Here's the folder that I'm using for the philosophy of science class I'm teaching in spring 2026. There isn't much here right now. One thing I'll need is a folder for the readings. It'll also be useful to create some shortcuts to the important websites for the course. Later on, I can add more folders for things like assignments or the group project in the second half of the term. For now, I'll start with the CAT Courses site for the class. On my Mac, I can basically just drag and drop. I'll give the shortcut a more meaningful name. I think Windows is capable of doing the same thing, it just works slightly differently. We have a separate website for this course, so I'll create a separate shortcut in my class folder. Here's the website, drag and drop, and give it a more descriptive name so I know what it is in the folder. Now I'll add a folder for the readings, and then jump back to the course website to download the first reading. You can see I've done this several times rehearsing this video. For this particular class, the readings are set up as zip files which download rather than opening automatically. I can click on the file in my web browser's pop-up here, or find it in the Downloads folder right here. Either way, I'll open the zip file to get the PDF and then move the PDF into the Readings folder. The readings are zipped to encourage you to keep your own copy of the PDF with your annotations, your highlighting and notes. If you prefer, you can print out the PDF and annotate with actual highlighters and pens. I like to read on my iPad with an Apple Pencil to write notes and highlights. You can also read on your laptop. I did that for years before I made enough money to afford an iPad. You'll just need a PDF reader app that lets you highlight in different colors and add typed notes. On a Mac, the Preview app is built in and works okay. I don't know about Windows at all, but I think Foxit and PDF Gear are two popular options. Just make sure that however you're annotating, that the annotated versions get saved back into your course folder so that you can refer back to them later in the semester.